Welcome back as we wrap up this week and wrap up chapter 7 of the book of Proverbs. This chapter, as a reminder, is about the young man lacking sense, chasing after the adulterous woman. And this is the conclusion of that chapter, the conclusion of that this section as well. Let's start with verses 21 through 23. With much seductive speech, she persuades him. With her smooth talk, she compels him. All at once, he follows her, as an ox goes to the slaughter, or a stag is caught fast till an arrow pierces its liver. As a bird rushes into a snare, he does not know that it will cost him his life. The young man is seduced. And remember that as we are talking about this, the adulteress isn't simply an adulterous woman. That is one reading of it. A second level reading is folly or foolishness that the temptation leads the young man to. The other final understanding of this is simply the evil one who is tempting him and leading him away. So he is seduced with a smooth talk, whether it is from evil, wicked friends, whether it is from the adulteress itself or the evil one tempting him. He runs after. He follows. And notice the three phrases that it uses, the three things it compares it to. First of all, an ox being slaughtered, a stag being pierced by an arrow, a bird caught in a snare. What do all of those have in common? Their final act would be an act of destruction, being put to death, being destroyed. And that is the warning that is given here, that the evil, that folly leads to death. Let's continue reading verses 24 through 27. And now, O sons, listen to me, and be attentive to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths. For many a victim she has laid low, and all her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death. We can see that this is a summary of the whole chapter. And now, O sons. Remember, O son, singular, is often an introductory phrase. O sons is a summary of it. So he is summarizing this chapter. Listen to me, be attentive to the words of my mouth. Again, very similar phrase. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Don't stray into her paths. All of that is the reminder to listen to the words of the Father, to follow them as well. Why? Because her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chamber of death. In other words, her ways leads to death. In the Old Testament, if you remember from the book of Leviticus, the punishment for adultery is death. Even in the New Testament, it would be the person caught in adultery could be put to death, or having an affair with an adulterer, with a married woman, you could be put to death as well. The punishment for unfaithfulness to God, which in many ways is what adultery is compared to in the Old Testament, it is also death. Wisdom leads to life. Foolishness, folly, walking away from the Lord leads to death. Come back on Monday and we'll begin with chapter 8. During this last week that we are looking at the book of Proverbs, hope you can join me and we'll see you then. God bless.